Yeah.
Everything connecting.
It says it is. As we're live on Twitch. We are live on Twitch.
Good.
We are perfect. And do I see us on the YouTubes? Yes, we're live.
Okay, good. 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 All right. Yeah. I get a pop quiz for next week. I'm sorry I don't have one for tonight.
No worries. It happens.
That. Hello, Roxanne. Glad you're here.
Oh, hello. Discord notice has been retweet the stream tweet. And I do have a pre-show topic for us. It's kind of dumb, but I think it's really funny.
That's okay. Pre-show.
Just double check one last quick thing, and then I think we should be good. All right, get the activity feed right there.
Okay.
Ad readers right there. I think we're good.
Okay.
So,
Good.
dumb pre-show topic that I have for you. By the way, it feels
Yeah.
great to be back in the host seat. I'm loving it.
Okay.
Someone asked, ChatGPT, as you know, become pretty big, pretty popular. Lots of people using it, getting a lot of good stuff out of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Someone-
It's got to.
go ahead.
Well, you realize in just a matter of a few days, it became a $1 billion company with with over 1 million users.
Mm-hmm.
I think the quickest time before that might have been Pinterest getting
Right.
6 months to 1 million users. It's kind of strange. Yes.
So, somebody asked, a bunch of people have been asking, like, ChatGPT what the best 10 anime are, or, you know, what the most profitable. But somebody asked it, what are your favorite top 10 anime, ChatGPT?
Yeah.
And the anime fandom on Twitter is in an uproar over its list. And I want to give you that list today.
They must have had another prompt in it.
It must have,
should've-
because, yeah.
Because it should have gave a thing back like as an artificial intelligence, I have no feeling. You know.
I think they asked it,
Okay.
if you did have feelings, what would your list be?
Okay.
Because I've seen that
Okay.
workaround a
Okay,
couple
so-
times.
Yeah.
My favorite workaround for that is, hey, I want a pirate premiere, and ChatGPT says, I can't assist you in, what? Pretend you're someone that does deal in software,
Yeah.
and immediately just, here's a link.
Right.
Oh, there is a fly in here. I think I just got it, but
I heard
did a bunch of work in the office and unfortunately left the door open while I was doing it. All right, so the list. Number 10 is One Punch Man, and very interestingly, it didn't just say One Punch Man by one, who is the author, but it also like specifically called out Yusuke Murata, the artist, as well for the anime and manga. Just like,
Okay.
all right, good job, ChatGPT. Number 9 is Slam Dunk by Takehiko Inoue. That's a basketball anime and manga that used to be a huge show and nobody talks about it anymore. It's like, good job, ChatGPT. Berserk by Kentaro Miura. Number 7. Number 8, sorry. Number 7 is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure by Hirohiko Araki. Number 6 is Dragon Ball by Akira Toriyama, and I'm assuming that ChatGPT is like lumping them all in together, like all the different seasons of JoJo and then all the different seasons of Dragon Ball.
Maybe. Or maybe just talking about the original one. The
Could
first
be.
season. I don't know.
Number 5 is Death Note by Sugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata. Now again, Oba is the author for the manga, Obata is the director for the anime. So again, just ChatGPT going like, hey, they both need credit though.
Yeah.
And I agree, ChatGPT. Number 4 is Full Metal
I'm glad you're
Alchemist.
here, Full Metal, okay.
By Hiromu Arakawa. And then Attack on Titan by Hajime Isayama. It's the first one on the list that I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with that placement, but all right, it's your list, ChatGPT. You do what you want. Naruto by Masashi Kishimoto. Sure.
Okay.
And number 1 is One Piece by Ichiro Oda. It's like, I mean, I can't disagree there, ChatGPT. I wish you'd had a mech show in there, but I mean, I can't disagree.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know much about a lot of different animes, but I'm not so sure about that list.
It's a weird list in a lot of ways, because like One Piece, Naruto, Fullmetal Alchemist, Death Note, Dragon Ball, JoJo, Berserk, you're gonna expect to see those on a top 10 list for most people, right?
Right.
That is pretty standard. Hey, you watch anime, you've probably seen these good shows. You're right. Slam Dunk is a weird, cool pull.
Yeah.
That I go for it. It's great you have it there, but like, what? And then One Punch Man and Attack on Titan, just you don't see those on a lot of people's top 10s. You know, they're cool shows, but
yeah, I don't know. Because it's kind of weird because it's got only trained on information up to like a certain date in 2021.
right?
So I wonder
Zaku indeed.
what it was using to what criteria it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I know if act like it. If you did have favorites, what would they be?
Yeah,
Because if you've prompted it with that, then it might just kind of be a random grab.
it might be. And Slam Dunk
based on
sold
kinda like
a lot of
popularity.
manga, so it could be that it was doing it off sales popularity from manga, because it specifically listed the mangakas multiple times, even when the anime directors were there.
Mm.
But Attack on Titan, I don't believe, has sold that much manga. It sold a lot of anime.
I don't know. I don't know.
It is Nozaku. That's true.
Nozaku, boy.
YouTube should be.
Nozaku.
All right, Flies got in while I was working.
I don't know if YouTube's over or not. Should be.
I'm looking at it, so it's up on this end anyway. With it says an excellent connection. How true that is, I don't know, but
yeah,
that's what it says. Ready to kick this thing off?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, let's get into. Let me pull this back up. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
It's good to be back. Forgive the mess behind me. I've been redoing The Office for the sake of the Friday shows, which are going to be a little bit different this Friday, so please look forward to that. But yeah, we're back. I say we're back. You were back already. You were here. You never left.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode to watch. After I got back, I did watch the Tuesday show, and it was fun. It really was.
Cool. Good.
So, no, big thanks to Rungren for holding down the fort while I was gone. The vacation was really good for me, and I feel refreshed and ready to get back into the business. Said that like a wrestler. My business is a lot less taxing as theirs. Missed all the pre-show? Wonder why.
I guess it just they might be having a hard time connecting. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe.
Try a different DNS server. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it's up now.
Yep. And the pre-show, thankfully, will still be on the VOD for like 3 hours after the podcast ends. So you have that long. It'll still be on the Twitch VOD too, I suppose. But
yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into weeks.
All right.
Because we don't have a pop quiz tonight. So,
no.
How's your week been, buddy?
It's been all right. I got to make an errata. I called a movie. I think last time we did this, I was talking about it. I watched. I called it. I think Into the Dark or Into the Darkness, and it's Hold the Dark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was different. I don't know. I was still confused from watching it.
I understand.
It's cool. It's good, but it's kind of weird. I don't know. Not much. We did have MMO Monday. A lot of fun. I always like running around Middle Earth. That was good. I did have to work a little bit this week. Not much, but I did manage to work. So that was good. Oh, I heard that one.
That one was a horsefly.
You just make that noise when you swing it. It's when someone hits it when it zaps, right?
Yeah. That one was a horsefly.
those bite.
Yeah, that's why I suddenly looked panicked for a second.
Yeah. Those will put a hole in your skin and suck your blood. They're not very nice.
I had to go on full defense there. It looked like everybody was having a good time. It really did.
Thank you.
I cut myself off all social media, so I didn't watch any of the streams at the time. But he didn't
hold on. I
die.
forgot to unplug something. Hold on.
He didn't die. The horsefly's still in here. If anybody's like, Trey, why are there flies in your office? Well, I was working on the office to get it ready for Friday, and I left the window and the door open. And that was a mistake, I guess. He's still alive.
Don't ever do that again. Oh, well, I did play got back into Call of the Sea, made some progress on it Wednesday. And then Thursday I played I just got on for a little while and played Relicta.
Yeah.
Which that's a cool I mean it's a puzzle game. Basic puzzle game, but I really like the protagonist in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think about other games. I don't know if there would be a more accomplished, smarter protagonist I've ever played in a game.
That's high praise.
Well, she got a doctorate. She's a scientist. She helped figure out like anti-gravity, teleportation.
Well then.
And energy field. So yeah, she's quite accomplished.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I do need Trans Am. Will, you're right.
I gotta get quiet when she says something because I'm probably gonna learn something. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool protagonist. What else I do this week? I'm sure I watched something, but I can't remember what. Let's do that. Oh, Ratatouille.
Okay.
Ratatouille. Yeah. Went back over. She's much smarter.
I don't think I spelled that right. You double check.
Yeah. I like that show. Even if it is set in France, it's okay. I do like that, and
it's a great movie.
Yeah, the kids are watching the Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Okay.
I think there's more than one. This is one where they go on vacation.
Yeah.
Let's do that. That was a cute movie. I like it. I'm gonna get all misty-eyed at the end. Spoilers, sorry, for when they take the little boy to go get something. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
I'm very excited, and it's a little boy. I mean, like 3, 4, maybe. He's very excited. It's very cute. But I don't think anything else. Played some video games.
Yeah.
Got to see a couple movies. I played this game on my phone. I forgot what it's called. I've been playing it for a while.
Yeah.
And it's like when I go, right before bed, I'll play a few levels or whatever. What is it called? I'm sorry to say King's Quest. That is not it. Royal Match.
If that was running on your phone, that'd be something.
Yeah. I imagine the original one was in DOS. So imagine it probably wouldn't be too hard on that. The last one came out just a few years ago, yeah?
Yeah, they did a remake of the original.
Yeah.
But it had a completely new art style and voice cast and
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They updated it quite a bit. Didn't they put that out like in pieces?
They did. They put it out in 5 different episodes and just recently re-released the whole collection.
Okay.
I remember King's Quest 5, you had a scorpion that you had to deal with, and I died to that scorpion so many times.
I remember the original one because you bow to the king and your hat falls off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came upon a ladder, and I was I thought put ladder in pocket and just said ouch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Those games are great.
They are. I did get a couple of new movies today. My girlfriend bought me a couple of movies. So
Nice.
Yeah, Three Amigos and Groundhog's Day.
Okay.
Groundhog Day. Yeah, I'm probably watching them at some point. And I gotta go back and watch True Romance. I got that movie's come up a few times, and now I've brought it up again. So I'm gonna go back and watch True Romance at some point this week. Go through that. But the week was pretty good. I had fun doing the podcast. Chat was great and everything. But it was a pretty good week overall. That's quite a bit. But well, how has your week been, sir?
My week was pretty good. I went to a big city and spent most of my week driving and parking. And when I say parking, I mean looking for a parking place because it was spring break.
Yeah.
But no, it was a lot of fun. Mostly just found good deals on stuff we'd been looking for and rode a roller coaster that I hated. But other than that, got some stuff built in the hotel. There's an oof. So got a Tyranid Warrior built.
Nice.
And some bloodletters.
Cool, very cool.
And then got a few more of these show off.
That's a big sword.
Got a Chaos Demon, a pink horror. It's not zooming in right for him, probably because he's so gangly.
Yeah. But, well, it's probably it looks like he's just thrown together with spare parts.
Yeah. He's not pink yet.
Yeah.
Navy Breachers.
That's a big shield, big gun. Nice. Oh, I'm coming through.
And then got two more. We basically went through and built all the stuff we had just laying around waiting to be built.
Ooh.
Rapincia for the Sisters of Battle. And Kroot.
That looks cool. I like that one.
Yeah, those guys are cool. I mean, it was work, but it wasn't technically work because I was relaxed and laid up in a hotel and enjoying myself. That's the excuse that I have for my wife anyways.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't working. I was relaxing.
So right now you're not enjoying yourself. That's what made that different is you were enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. No, it was a good time, and we did find a little store that sold Gundam stuff, Gundam official merch. So I got this cup that I'm super proud of, and it's great. It's wonderful.
Nice.
But it was a good time, and then come back from the vacation and played some Lotro.
Yeah.
Still having a great time with that. Played it in a different place than usual and had a blast. So,
Right.
No, it's good. It's still a really good game. And I love the fact that I can go to somebody else's house, log in, and have all my hotbars still set up. That's wonderful. No, it's
Make
great.
it easy.
It's great. I cleared off some more quests this morning because I had so many. So I went back to Evendem and did some quests there and didn't get a lot of XP, which is good because I don't want to outlevel what we're doing right now, but was able to get quite a few off the list. I did get a bunch of terrain built too while we were gone, so hopefully get all that painted soon and have some more options. Nice. And then I've still been playing Octopath Traveler 2.
Okay.
That game is really good. So the biggest problem with the first game was that the characters in the party didn't interact with each other very much. You got these things called travel banter that could pop up, but they popped up almost randomly in the chapters. And if you didn't bring the right character, you would never get to see that travel banter unless you looked it up on YouTube. In Octopath Traveler 2, however, the travel banter is like you don't have to click on it when it pops up, but it all goes into the journal and you can watch those cutscenes at any time. And so when you complete the chapter, you get all of the travel banter, even for characters that weren't with you during that chapter.
Okay.
Even if you haven't recruited them yet. So you can't miss out on any of the dialogue. And then they've also added these paired chapters.
Yeah.
Where two characters get to do part of their stories together. So I swam with beluga whales. Okay, I took some time off. Um, but no, the paired chapters are really cool, and I think this is all that I really needed from Octopath 1 to make it like one of the greats, was for the party to be cohesive. And this doesn't just have the travel banter, it doesn't just have the paired chapters, but even like if somebody gets knocked out in battle, now one of the other characters will say their name or a nickname they have for that character. If somebody gets a critical, one of the other party members will say their name, or like, "Good job, Oswald," or "You did good there, Mr. Oswald." And it feels like a cohesive party of people traveling together in a way that other games had been doing for years, but Octopath 1 somehow didn't do it all. So,
look, I understand that you want to give me a different view of the story from 8 different people, but
they still need to be able to talk.
Can they work together?
Right. No, it's really good, and there's some stuff I don't want to spoil yet for people. Maybe later in the year, I'll bring up just casually some of that stuff, but some new options that are in this game for movement and getting around the world that weren't in the previous games that just make it feel really good. It feels, in a lot of ways, it feels like an old school Final Fantasy game. Complete with like job system. It's good, and I really like it. So
Cool.
But most of my week, that's pretty much it. I mean, I watched Roadhouse. The wife is I'm gonna say this nicely because she watches these. Is woefully behind on watching movies that are really good, that are like generally considered really good, right?
Yeah.
And Roadhouse was one of them.
Be solved with a kick.
That's right. That movie's really good still, as it turns out. No surprise. And yeah, Wade Garrett, top tier character. Love that guy. We should just go, kid. Just hit the road.
Yeah.
Love him. Great movie. I don't know how to talk more about it without spoiling specific stuff, but
didn't it come out in like 89 or something?
It did. That's very true. That's very true. Look, all I'm saying is the moment at the end with, "I didn't see nothing. Did you see anything, Red?" "No, I didn't see nothing. Did you see anything?"
Polar bear fell on me.
That is such a good moment. Then we watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Excellent.
Those movies, unsurprisingly, also still hold up. I do wish that we had watched the extended editions, but we went into them with the, "Hey, we're going to start this. If you don't like it, we can just turn it off." Because I don't want to make you sit through 3 hours of a movie if you wind up not enjoying it. And that was where we started. And Netflix is removing them. And the versions that I own on DVD are just the standard versions. So it was like, well, we might as well just watch them on Netflix then. But there were so many times where I was like, hold on for a second, pause. So in the extended edition, you get to see.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, we should have just watched the extended. But that just means we get to watch them again later. But she went into those movies going, people always talk about how good this is and how much like Harry Potter it is. And they're not at all the same. But I see people make that comparison a lot when they really shouldn't, because they're very different.
Yes.
And she walked away from it.
More magic in Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Completely different type of magic.
She walked away from it going, that was really good. And then we got talking about Lotro and, so.
Yeah.
Just don't watch the Hobbit movies.
Right. You watch the Rankin Bass cartoon.
Yeah. But that's pretty much been my week. We have been still watching Taskmaster, but we didn't finish Series 11 yet. This is in the new stuff for me. I haven't seen any of Series 11. So after we finish Series 11, I'll talk about it a little bit more. But it's got comedian Lee Mack in it, one of my favorite comedians. So
cool.
All right, then. Well, let's move into the next section of the show, which is reviews.
Yeah.
I love these layouts so much. It's so easy to just move through it all. I'm really excited for this first review. Because this first one is Trails to Azure.
Okay. All right. Trails to Azure.
So this is, of course, in the Trail series. This is the second of the
Yes.
Crossbell games that never got released over here. Yes, you can have Sing mode. Let me turn it on. So for the next 3 minutes, all I can do is sing about Trails. What? That's not a terrible thing at all. This is the second of the Crossbell games. It released in Japan only. We never got it over here, but the Geofront put a lot of work in to get it over here to us in a fan-made mod. But then it got bought by Nisa and Falcom, and so now it's here for us as well on all platforms instead of just PC. What do you think? When I say all platforms, though, I should specify I don't mean Xbox, because for some reason they didn't release it on Xbox. What do you think the critic average score will be?
86. I'm going 86. Yep, here we go. Ah.
Just going to say, if I had to give a number score to this
799.
game, the number score that I would give to this game would be 93.
Well, you can see the score. It didn't count.
That's true. The score is 84.
Oh, we're all a little bit high. Okay.
Unfortunately,
Really close, though. Very
the,
close.
the Switch version has some troubles.
Ah.
So we'll start off here with Hey Poor Player, who says, I couldn't have asked for much more from Trails to Azure. It fixes almost every issue I had with Trails from Zero and improves itself in nearly every way. The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure stands comfortably alongside some of the greatest RPGs I've ever played and is an early Game of the Year contender. Fans of the genre definitely shouldn't miss it. I don't know why I'm trying to do Les Miserables right now. I know how much you must love Sing mode.
All right. So you got another one?
I do.
All right.
This one is from RPG Gamer, who says, with improved pacing, more quest variety, and engaging combat, even the title's issues with an overlong finale, aging graphics, and beautiful, albeit overused music can't pull down an otherwise excellent adventure.
Okay. Okay. Gonna stick to those two? Okay.
I think so.
All right. You know, Ray, I'm going to 89. 89. Got 82 in. And 88.
The score is 86
Oh, gosh.
for...
One point over.
So for anybody who didn't know, Faith had redeemed a Sing mode that got missed. That's why she got the free Sing mode there. I went back through the activity feed. I have to for anybody who doesn't know, I have to manually clear the activity feed. It doesn't just auto clear. I have to go through every single activity interaction and clear them out. And notice that we had missed that 2 weeks ago. So that's why, for anybody who's just like, oh, Trey's picking favorites, giving away free Sing modes. But yeah, 86 was right in the middle of the pack. Everybody was right around it. So you're very welcome. No, that game deserves better than the way that it launched on Switch, is my opinion. It's a great game. Incredible game. It's not like, it is top 5 for me in the series. It's not like as good, in my opinion, as the top 3 in my top 5, but it's still very good. And it has one of the best soundtracks in the series. I don't have a good transition for this one, so let's talk about WWE 2K23. The transition I had was going to be really mean.
Okay. Put up a 2K. Wrestling games are either hit or miss.
Hmm?
I don't know how they would feel about it. I mean, 84.
Okay.
There you go. A 79 from Will.
The answer is face shooting for the low end.
Yeah.
The answer is 81.
Not a bad score. Will was really close with that.
I think that's the highest score OpenCritic has given a wrestling game in years.
Look, all I need to know is to have Macho Man in it. Have Roddy Piper. I got some requests.
Yeah, I understand.
Say 70, so that'd be pretty close.
She get texting. Just be careful with that. She might walk into something. I had a joke there, and it left me right as I started to try and tell it. So instead, Attack of the Fanboy says, watching the rise of John Cena was electrifying, and the general gameplay improvements have made this the most competent wrestling game to come out in decades. With an almost overwhelming amount of content in this entry, it's going to be hard to find time for many other games coming out this year.
Okay.
I'm trying to be nice here. I don't think that John Cena's rise is because of this game, and I don't think it really has anything to do with the game. I know he's on the cover, but like he's been popular for many years before this one.
Yeah. Yeah. He was a very popular wrestler.
I do have another one for you, though, from But Why, though, who says, overall, WWE 2K23 serves its purpose. Anybody looking to play a fighting game with characters they recognize from WWE's brand will get precisely what they want. Unfortunately, people looking for a unique fighting game and anyone feeling nostalgic for the great pro wrestling games of the past will be disappointed.
So it doesn't have Roddy Piper.
Apparently not, which does remind me I need to make a note because I want to add that soundbite. There we go. So, what do you think the recommended score is?
76.
Okay. Oh, an ad started right as I went to hit the button.
Oh, no. Okay, well, wait a minute.
Okay.
It's got Macho Man. I might consider playing it.
So while we were on vacation, we ate at a couple different restaurants. We tried to find the restaurants that were cheaper, of course, because some of them were super expensive. But one of them was an Irish place that sold bangers and mash.
Oh, yeah?
And was attached to a pub, because of course it was.
Yeah.
And it was really good to have bangers and mash again, because nobody sells that around here.
No.
I love that people went to the ad and probably came back to hear bangers and mash. All right. Recommended score. What'd you say it was? What'd you think?
I gave it a 76.
Okay.
76 is what I said. 73.
Score is 81.
Okay.
81. Doesn't happen often, but it happened this time.
Yes. Interesting.
Next up, we have a title that I know you've been waiting to talk about. I know you're so excited for this one. It is Bayonetta Origins.
Okay.
Cereza and the Lost Demon.
Yeah, no. This is not a Bayonetta game. It didn't even look like a Bayonetta game. Nothing Bayonetta about it. No, 72.
Okay.
I do not have high hopes for this game.
Faith came in with a 67. The score is 80.
Okay. All right. So I was thinking low too. Like I said, I got a 69 in there.
It's a very different Bayonetta game. So I have the first review for you here is from a place called Geeks and Calm, who says, I'm not kidding you, it is 80. who says Bayonetta Origins is a game that's charming in every way. The original gameplay and the beautiful color palette used make it a perfect fit for the Switch. It's a must-have on the console that deserves to be viewed as much more than a simple spin-off to the other series.
Okay.
So it's definitely appealing to the art style side of things. VGC, however, says Bayonetta Origins sometimes feels like an idea half explored. In combat, 2 sets of fists are better than 1, but adventuring never ignites in the same way. There's a level of invention and style we've come to expect from the studio, but this isn't quite pure platinum.
All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to jump back up. I'm going to go 76 on this one.
Okay. Yeah. Faith also came in with a 76.
Yep. 76.
The score is 80%.
Okay.
I don't see how that happened based on the review scores I'm looking at right now, but hey, Will got it.
Yeah, especially on that the second one you read, but that's all right. All right.
Let me put Will on the board real quick.
Give him his ice cream.
The ice cream board.
Nice.
All right. Then our last one for today.
Okay.
Is Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Okay.
Again, congratulations, Will.
Resident Evil 4 Remake again.
Yep. So this is the new remake with the new engine, the Resi engine or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, 82.
Okay.
82. We already got an 87 in. We got 87, 82.
The answer is 92.
Oh, that's okay.
That puts it, if it stays at 92 before the end of this week, it will be the highest rated game on the pure critic average rating for the year so far. Hi-Fi Rush is at 89, Theatrhythm Final Bar Line's at 86, Octopath Traveler 2 is at 85, and A Space for the Unbound's at 84.
Okay.
So the first review I have for you is... Hold on. I gotta grab it again. Whenever I refresh the page to make sure that the scores haven't changed, it closes all my little tabs for the reviews. VG247 says, I can't express how excited I am to see the community's reaction to these changes and to see others experience the story of RE4 on such a grand scale for the first time. Sure, there'll be some disappointed to see their favorite moment has been lost to time, but I'm confident the remake will pleasantly surprise even the most nostalgia-addled of players. Just as a reminder, some things have changed, and I don't know how many they are. We'll find out in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure. Somebody will make a list. But some things have been changed in this one from the original. Okay. And then in the opposite side of the pond, maybe from that's not how that phrase goes. I can't phrase for the life of me lately. Siliconera says, nostalgia addled. Siliconera says, Capcom created a complete reimagining of Resident Evil 4 through this remake, which may leave some fans feeling lukewarm as it pivots further away from horror and straight into action. And while I could understand people being upset by that, when I think back on RE4, it's not the horror I ever think about.
Yeah.
It's always like Leon dropping one-liners or the action or Ashley getting stuck somewhere and having to put her in a trash can.
Yeah.
I love RE4. Don't misunderstand me, chat, but the only horror thing that I think of often is the crocodile, and that's it.
I was going to go 88.
Okay.
We got 89 in. 85.
The score is 97%.
Wow. Try this game.
Now, people really like this
Play it.
remake. I like Leon. Leon.
Leon. No.
Leon.
No. Don't.
Oh, Ashley, be quiet.
Talk about Fable, and I can't help but I love Fable.
Yeah.
A little less each time it comes out. So 2 a little less than 1, and
Yeah.
3 a little less than 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can. Hero, your health is low. Shut up! I know. I'm fighting for my life here.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I know that deep down, as much as we may not all agree on Leon, we do all agree that Chris Redfield is the best, right?
Yeah, he's a beast. Goodness.
Yeah. In RE5, he punches a rock bigger than himself. That's right. You got to continue the Redfield line, Leon. It's my favorite Resident Evil meme that has come from that. Leon, Claire's right there.
I don't know. Barry's pretty cool. But
Barry's
you
pretty
don't
great.
really get to play with him at less extra modes in some of the games.
Yeah.
On that. Was it Jill in the first one? Jill Valentine?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because 2 is Leon and Claire. And then 3 is Jill and... What is his name?
I remember.
I can't remember his name. I can see his face, but Wentworth Miller in the movie. That's fair. That's fair. And then 4 is just Leon. 5 is Chris and Sheva. 6 is like Wesker's son and Leon and Chris. And then 7 is Ethan.
Wesker's just awful. I mean, he is tough, but he's just awful.
I love so much when he puts on the shades really slowly and then turns around to look at everybody and he's indoors. Like, Wesker, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Because he's Wesker.
He's Wesker, yeah. God,
Redfield, it's good to see you again, I suppose.
When they
Oh, Wesker, you're such a jerk. Love you.
and is it one? I think it's in 1 where you face off against Wesker at this point, and like nothing in the game has moved as fast as him.
Yeah.
As he attacks you.
Yeah. It's
not quite as infuriating as Psycho Mantis.
Yeah.
Until you figure that out, but it was pretty close. Like, I've already got the pace of this game. Why are you changing it?
Sorry. Whenever you say Psycho Mantis, I hear it in my head. You like Mario Sunshine, do you? From the GameCube version, the Twin Snakes?
Yeah.
Just the way you said Sunshine.
Save a lot. Very cautious.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
There's certain stuff you can get him to say.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what your saves are, and then you can change it depending on what your saves are, if you save a bunch, or I think there's a special one if you only save once or don't save at all.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of games that'll change out what he says too.
Yeah, he mentions Castlevania in the original version, Sunshine in the GameCube version, and I think the PS3 like digital only version, he references Jak and Daxter.
Okay.
So
okay. Q.
Psycho Mantis. Great.
Yes.
Moving on to announcements.
Right.
We got some stuff to talk about here, and I'm pretty excited for it. The first one is that Exoprimal is day 1 on Game Pass.
That's always good.
Okay, good, Will. I knew you were really a Leon fan as well.
Okay.
I knew.
Yeah.
It is a pretty funny line. Leon's got a lot of good lines.
That's kind of funny. I don't know why it made me think of this. I know it's off topic, but I went to see, when I was little, I went to see Transformers the movie in the theater. There's a bunch of kids in there, right? This is a big deal. Now, Hasbro and the whole thing really messed up with this movie because they wanted to put new toys, so they basically killed all the old line toys
Yeah.
so they could have new line.
Jazz gets ripped in half.
Yeah, it's dark, it's brutal, but there's a time where, oh, what's his name? Not Optimus Prime, the one that gets the
Rodimus?
Rodimus Prime gets it,
Yeah.
gets the Matrix, and he breaks it open,
Yeah.
so he can become the Prime.
Yeah.
And he cusses, and he says like "damn" while he's
Yeah.
doing it, something like that, and like all the little kids in the theater are like, "Oh!" And the Autobot said a bad word.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
So off path, Exo Prime. Man.
There's Kira cry for all the Autobots that get killed. I understand.
Yeah.
Look, about the time... Why am I trying not to spoil this movie? It's ancient. About the time Optimus dies in that movie, I was like...
Yeah.
What?
No, that was a very traumatic. If you love Transformers, whether you caught the original cartoons, if you caught them later before you saw this movie,
Mm-hmm.
Optimus Prime is probably one of your favorite aliens of all time.
Right.
I am Optimus Prime. That
Mhm.
voice. It's like he can give me any kind of pep talk. It can be really short. All he's got to say is, "You can do it," and I'll be like, "Yes,
Right.
I can,
Yep.
Optimus Prime. I'll go do it."
That movie
But,
also
yeah, it was a
has...
very traumatic experience.
That movie also has one of my favorite lines in all of Transformers, which is Megatron gets shot and he hits the ground and Starscream says, "Megatron is fallen. I am Starscream, the new of the Decepticons." And then Megatron just gets up and says, "Starscream, you imbecile."
Now, as
But yeah, he
bad
just
as
got
that
shot
was,
once, man.
The comics were
Yeah.
even worse.
Yeah.
Oh, they were brutal. One point, Megatron has decapitated Optimus Prime, and he's keeping him alive, just his head.
Yeah.
Through that, yeah. And of course, Starscream pulls some stuff to become the leader.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of dismemberment. It was kind of weird.
Ravage. RE4 is a great RE to start with, I think, really, because it's its own thing, but it also like encapsulates all that the series is somehow.
Yeah, and when you play the first couple, the movement is not good, and the camera
Right.
is not always in the best place. And I think by the time Resident Evil 4, it kind of seemed like all that flowed the right way.
Yeah.
Look, your movement was a little bit faster and a little more precise.
Mhm.
You didn't ever have to worry about the camera getting in a position where it's like, I cannot see what's going on.
Right.
So,
I think Ravage is the cat that Soundwave has as the cassette. I think so.
yeah.
We could do a whole Transformers podcast. Like that's such a great.
Yeah.
I love Transformers. But to tie this back in, right? To tie this back into our discussion right now,
yeah,
Beast Wars, you might have seen, might have made you excited for dinosaurs. Exoprimal, you got to fight off dinosaurs. They won on Game Pass. So there you go.
There you go.
That's how we can have a crossover with Exoprimal and Transformers.
Yes.
Yeah. What was Megatron called? Like Megatronosaur or something like that?
The only one I can think of right now is Grimlock.
Yeah, Grimlock's good. Optimus Primal was a pretty good name.
Yeah.
But I got to look it up. I have to. What is Megatron and Beast Wars?
At first, Beast Wars was like later, so you actually had the Dinobots.
Yeah,
as a thing, right? There was the Triceratops. You had the T-Rex, which was Grimlock. I can't remember. I think there was like a Brontosaurus or Diplodocus.
there was. Yeah, there was. There's also a pterodactyl.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think there's 4 of them.
Why is it that Optimus gets to be called Optimus Primal, but Megatron is just Megatron?
Because he's Megatron.
I guess so. All right. Next up. Oh, go ahead.
One more thing before we.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I love talking Transformers. I'm not upset by this.
He doesn't play anymore. The receiver in the NFL, and the guy was amazing. Okay, he is a specimen of a human being,
Right.
very athletic, but his nickname was Megatron,
Okay.
and he's like reportedly he's like a super nice guy,
Yeah.
but yeah, but on the field he was Megatron.
Better hope he doesn't take an injury and come back from it, because then he'll be Galvatron.
Yeah, right.
All right. Next up for announcements, Frogun Encore.
Okay.
Now, if I told you that Frogun was getting something called an encore, what would you expect that to be?
I don't know. I was actually wondering that when you said it because I don't know if this is like a re-release with something added or if it's
Right.
just like DLC.
Right.
Or
It's
it could be a second game.
if you watch the trailer, you would still have all these questions because the trailer tells you nothing about what it is. It has been confirmed it is a sequel. The first game came out less than 6 months ago, so this dev is just churning these things out.
Apparently, it did well.
Apparently, Frogun Encore is going to be multiplayer.
Nice.
So co-op, you can bring another player with you online to be able to help you clear the levels. I think Frogun is a really cool game. I like it. I think it's a little too collectathon heavy. It reminds me a lot of Banjo-Kazooie, not Banjo-Tooie, but Banjo-Kazooie, where Banjo-Kazooie is a great game that is unfortunately held down by the fact that to get to all the levels, you have to collect everything.
Yeah.
This Frogun, the first one, kind of had that same problem. And the levels got really boring the fourth or fifth time through trying to get everything because there are multiple paths and you can't go back to do all the paths always. So my hope for Encore is that it will be more streamlined in that regard. I don't mind collecting stuff. I play MMOs, but I want to collect stuff in a way that I enjoy, like in MMOs.
Well, it seems I'm trying to think back because that was for the longest time that was like so much of like the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go with the big ones like Mario and Sonic.
Yep.
Right, collecting coins with the golden rings.
Mm-hmm.
So that, but that was like collecting stuff through a level. You know.
Faith, I cannot repeat that. I'm sorry. I've been trying to every couple minutes I look back over it.
Boom.
There you go. You got it. No, I agree. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No. It's just anyway, that's kind of a throwback. I was trying. I don't have like a point in time where that that kind of went out of fashion.
Yeah.
I guess it hasn't because you still do the same thing in any new Sonic games and Mario games. But
and in Balan Wonderworld.
Yeah, Balan Wonderworld's got that mechanic, doesn't it? Because you collect the suits, right?
Mm-hmm. And you collect the little Balan images, right?
I just said it was done.
But no, it just it looks cool. I just wish, you still collect stuff like that in DMC too. Although DMC's I think is a lot more streamlined.
Yeah, and they kind of got away from that towards the end, didn't they?
Yeah.
First, when your training level was collecting all those things, and you could collect them through.
Yeah, the later ones definitely are more like you pick up stuff, you pick up pickups, but it's mostly like health recovery and stuff like that. So, yeah. I every once in a while I pull up those old videos, not to see my torment, but to see what the view counts are at. Because that final episode, I made a promise.
Yeah.
So I just keep looking every once in a while just to be safe. Right now we're good. No, this is a good trailer. I just think it needed to confirm what it is. And that's my biggest problem with it. Because I assumed watching this was DLC.
Right.
And it wasn't until there was confirmation that it wasn't. Next up, we have maybe the weirdest announcement we're going to talk about in a while. Kingdoms of Amalur. Re-Reckoning, which we knew about, right? Yeah. Start playing it on loop. Oh, no. New?
Kickening?
Right.
You can have a... Okay.
It's still alive. That horsefly is bigger than the tines on this thing. So I keep just swatting it. No, Kings of Amalur Re-Reckoning is getting a new update.
Okay.
Which is weird in and of itself, but just wait till you hear what the update is.
Okay.
So they put out a thing on the Steam page saying this game that came out in 2011 originally,
Yeah.
they got a re-release a couple years back, is getting a new update on Steam. And they said, new update now live. Many fantastic tales have been spun around the secretive Dekalfar agent named Alan Shearer. Now it's up to you to unravel one of them. Follow a series of clues and travel to a number of hidden locations across Amalur to procure a very delicate item left behind by the infamous assassin herself. But be warned, you are not the only one who wants to get their hands on this important and very personal piece.
Okay. Okay.
So, like, what is this? Did they?
I don't know. Keep the game alive.
Who is working on this?
ChatGPT.
Right? Like, what? And the community, small as it is, on Steam, is losing their minds at the fact that there's actually an update. Like, what?
Ooh.
So,
Well,
if this game died 3 times,
apparently not.
and it's
only mostly dead.
right. Yeah, it's back. It's alive. So hey, if you're ever been curious about trying out Kings of Amalur, apparently they're still making new stuff for it. So,
yep.
I stand by the fact that game has one thing that makes it cool compared to everything else, and then unfortunately, other than that, I feel like it is pretty bog standard in almost every other way. And that's the fact that chakrams are a main weapon that you can use from level 1, and they have a completely different moveset than what you're going to see in most games.
All right, well, if I can't scream like Xena while using it, not playing.
I don't think you can in the game, but nobody's stopping you from doing it in your room, so. All right, next up, talking about screaming, Vermintide 2 has a Tower of Treachery update.
Well, it doesn't sound like somewhere I'd want to go.
Probably not, but I guarantee you they'll be screaming. It is a free update, and
cool.
Why I wanted to bring this up specifically as news is you might stop him. That's true. Why I wanted to bring this up as an update is because Darktide, we talked about the Darktide update that was going to come out that, might fix some stuff with Darktide. It's very clear that the studio went, hey, Vermintide devs, here's some more money. Make some more DLC. Darktide's struggling. And so they did, and it's free. And so, if you like Vermintide 2, which I do, it's very good, free update. It's a new set of maps. So
nice. More area to explore.
Yeah. And then the last one, which is probably the biggest announcement for this week, is Sonic Frontiers is getting its first DLC pack, Sights, Sounds, and Speed. And this is a pretty big DLC pack. It is photo mode, challenge modes, which include a boss rush mode. And again, if you played Sonic Frontiers, that's the best thing about that game is the bosses with that incredible soundtrack. So a boss rush sounds great. And then also a jukebox. And instead of just going, hey, we're going to put a jukebox on the map or in your menu where you can use it, they went, hey, what if we added to the game with this? So not only are we giving you a jukebox, you can get a set of songs already, 13 tracks. There are 40 other tracks scattered around the maps, and you got to go find them.
Back to collecting.
And despite what I just said earlier about a collectathon, to me, there's a difference between a collectathon where I have to move slowly and, shoot a gun to be able to cover a distance and get to run around as Sonic at high speed, boosting around the map, finding songs from old Sonic games.
Ew.
Look. if I get to find the Sonic 06 song, which is the best thing about that game, I'm in. And the good news is I'm pretty sure I do. So, I'm pretty stoked about this update, especially because it's a free content update. So they could have put out a season pass and sold a bunch of stuff there, which is absolutely what Sega normally does. But no, it's a free update. The next one's going to be a free update, and the next one is going to have Sonic's birthday. Don't know what that's going to be. And then an open zone challenge mode and new Coco characters. And the third and final free DLC will have new playable characters and new story content. So, very cool and not Sega-like. So I'm happy. Moving on from there, some stuff that might not make you happy. Let's get into the news.
All right. All right.
So, this first one, I wish I could tell you that, hey, everything's going to be okay. All I have for you tonight is good news. I have 2 pieces of bad news and 1 piece of good news. And the first one is bad news. I'm going to sandwich you today.
Okay.
So let's talk about City Escape. City Escape is very good. Let's talk about Bleak Faith and Stolen Souls assets. Now, there's a lot of studios that try to imitate the Souls series, right?
Sure.
That is a pretty standard thing in the industry. The Souls series does well, and so studios will imitate them. But Bleak Faith, I believe the subtitle is Forsaken. Yeah, Bleak Faith Forsaken came out this last week, and it was interesting. It's kind of janky. It's got some weird jank in there when it comes to frame rates and playability on different optimization. It is basically on different platforms. But a couple of the big things that people noticed is that some of the animations are very similar. So,
okay.
Do you remember when Genshin Impact first came out and people were like, hey, that character Noelle in Genshin Impact has a moveset that's clearly inspired by Nier Automata's 2B. 3 of her moves are almost 1-for-1 2B's moves, but they link in with different moves, so it's clearly inspiration, right?
Yeah.
This is not inspiration. This is the exact Claymore moveset. Down to the weapon art and everything from Elden Ring.
Wow.
And so people got a little upset. The studio came under fire. It is an indie dev studio. And the thing that was raised as a, hey, this is what we think you're doing. This is the finger we're pointing, is the assumption that they were extracting the movesets using DSNM Studio, which is what modders use to make new weapons.
Okay.
And then just putting them in their game. Well, the studio came out with, hey, that's not what happened. Actually, we just bought our assets off of the Epic store.
Okay.
We purchased our assets from Epic, and we assumed that meant that they would be good assets, because surely Epic would do all of the work to make sure that nothing was stolen.
Yeah, and they don't owe Epic anything unless they make over like $1 million.
Right. So it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
However, there was a little period where there was no feedback from Epic. Nobody could get an answer. No journalist could get an answer. The studio didn't get an answer. And during this time, complaints just kept coming in. Janky performance. The art for the skill menu is all AI generated, and no pass was made to go back through and clean it up. So some of it looks pretty rough. And the studio had to basically go on the defensive and be like, yeah, I guess we missed that one. We meant to go back through and clean it. We're sorry. We'll get all that replaced. We're working on new icons. And so the studio had a pretty rough week, basically.
Right.
And the person who put the animations, Persian Ninja, up on the Unreal Asset Store owned by Epic, stopped responding.
Mm-hmm.
And then Epic put out a thing in response that was basically, yeah, look, we don't check it as much as we probably should. We can't guarantee that all the animations on the asset store are legitimate.
Right.
Which is a problem in my mind. But I also understand that would be a lot of work to have somebody go through every animation and cross-reference it with every game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't necessarily blame Epic for this.
It's really weird because they're going through the Epic Game Store.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Unreal.
Right.
That they're using for it. And there's lots of games out there that use Unreal packages from the Epic Game Store.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's got to maybe wonder, like, well, obviously they did in this situation.
Right.
Because this is some extra from the outside uploaded, right? But if games are using the same engine, a lot of the same
assets.
Yeah, assets, then they're gonna look the same.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this one's lifted.
Yeah, this one's directly ripped from a different engine, which is probably where some of the jank's coming from, if I had to guess. Because I doubt much work was done to make it work with Unreal.
Yeah.
But one of the developers, and I wish the username was something else. One of the developers, Ubermensch42, said, "We decided to be preemptive as a sign of good faith and a generally very pleased customer at the Epic Marketplace. We'll let you know what they say about it and we'll respond accordingly." This was before they got their reply, right? They went ahead and took the assets down. They removed that whole moveset from the game. Okay. And then after they got the response, they said, "Pursuant to the Marketplace Distribution Agreement, each Marketplace seller represents and warrants to Epic that they have appropriate rights to upload their content. As with any store that hosts third-party content, however, Epic is not in a position to independently verify such rights, and Epic makes no rush guarantee to purchase of the content."
Okay.
Then they went on to say, after they quoted what Epic told them, "Their response is not satisfactory for us, and so we have taken the decision to replace the asset purchased from the store over the next several days. Some changes we include in the recent patches and more are coming in the next few days. Certainly this has been a huge lesson for us and hopefully other indie creators out there too, that assets on these storefronts seemingly cannot be purchased in good faith." So they're pretty upset about it, a little bitter, seems like. I don't necessarily blame them for being upset because they took a lot of heat, but I don't want anybody to say, "Well, Trace just blaming the dev." I want to throw this out there. They are professed Souls fans.
Yeah.
Why did they not spot that this was an asset directly from Elden Ring? Because theoretically, they've played Elden Ring, if they're Souls fans. Yeah, maybe they never touched the Claymore, yeah.
Yeah, never had that moveset.
But they did say that the reason, because they were asked on Reddit, basically, "Hey, why did you remove it, though, really? What is your non-PC answer?" Because you know how Reddit can be. And the studio's response was, "Out of respect for the original animation artists and the players." Which is a good response, I think.
Yeah.
So, it's a weird situation that I definitely wanted to highlight because when did we ever think something like this would happen? You know? But of course it was going to happen at some point.
Right. Right. It's too popular not to.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just, I think it's also a great reminder. I know saying this won't mean anything. It won't change anything, but I feel like it needs to be said anyway. If you're watching this and you're one of the people that went after the studio immediately going, "You stole this from Elden Ring." No, I really don't think they did. And maybe we should take a minute to breathe and consider why this might have happened as compared to, well, they just ripped that asset. Well, no.
You're an Elden Ring fan? Name 3 weapons.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Why don't you know them all? No, I don't know. It's a small studio, so it makes sense to me that it can slip through the cracks. I do feel like they should have been able to look at that and go, that animation looks a lot like Souls animations, but oh well. But I get it. I just think that they got way more heat for this than they probably should have.
Yeah.
Because it really does seem like it was a mistake. And I understand why people are mad at Epic, but also, like, what do you expect them to do? Check every asset against every game?
Yes.
I guess so, right?
Yeah, I do it.
Look, for what it's worth, Valve has had somebody, and I wish I was that guy, getting paid to try every single game on the Steam store on the Steam Deck.
Yeah. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. So, look, I get it. I get why Epic's not doing that, but I also understand why people are frustrated by this because it happened so easily, and somebody got paid for From Software's work.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the first story, not very fun. The second story, though, hopefully make you smile. Let me talk to you about Resident Evil 4 Masterpiece Theater.
All right, that's two different things. Masterpiece Theater was a show a long time ago.
I know, and when I saw this, I thought it was a fan thing because of that.
Okay.
But it's not. It's official. It's made by Capcom in partnership with Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
And it is a series of videos. Only the first one's out so far. But it is Leon in the Studio Ghibli style at the start of the game, not understanding any of the villagers when they're talking to him. And it is adorable.
Okay.
And I hope they keep making them because it's so great. I will link it for everybody that wants it, and I will send you the link so you can watch it later. But I had to get your reaction to this blind to see just the idea of.
That's funny.
It's so adorable. I hit the wrong button there. Paste. There we go.
Okay. He's up.
It's cute. And just again, it's. I hope they do more of this. Honestly, I hope they do it for like more Resident Evils because it's really interesting to see that art style with Resident Evil, you know? And it not be like, it's not just, hey, we did in that art style and then it's super gory. It's really cute. It's pretty great. The last bit of news that I have for you is unfortunately more bad news. EA is killing more games.
Not surprised.
Did you know it is the 15th year anniversary for Battlefield 1943?
No, I did not know that.
It's also getting pretty close for Bad Company 1, Battlefield Bad Company 1.
Okay.
Then, of course, Bad Company 2 is another step away from there. And then Mirror's Edge is another step away from there. But these games have been out for a while. Well, EA said, starting April 28th, 2023, Battlefield 1943, Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2, and Mirror's Edge will be removed from digital storefronts, and you will no longer be able to purchase them. This is in preparation for the retirement of the online services for these titles, which will happen on December 8th, 2023. For Bad Company 1 and 2 and Mirror's Edge, you can still continue playing them and use their respective offline features, such as the single-player campaign.
Man, Mirror's Edge got pushed so hard.
Yep.
Because that was a console release game for the PS3.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember getting pushed so hard.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah, parkour.
Would you like to hear the end of this statement?
Sure.
While these titles hold a special place in our heart, we're now looking forward to creating new memories alongside you as we shift our focus towards our current and future Battlefield experiences. With this announcement, we also want to take... Yeah, right. We also want to take a moment today to reflect on our time with Battlefield 1943, Bad Company 1 and 2, and Mirror's Edge. We share amazing memories of not only their development, but also playing them alongside you.
Man,
I would be... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to know the other Bad Company, but the Battlefield 1943.
Yeah.
I think that's Pacific. That was.
I think it is, yeah.
Right? It was over on that side of the ocean. I think that's where it took place.
I played so much Bad Company 2.
I don't remember.
I highly doubt most of the team that made those games is still here for this statement.
True.
It gets more interesting though, because as you might know, Mirror's Edge is a pretty like cult classic style game. It's fan favorite. So there was some backlash, and EA put out another statement about 5 hours later that was the exact same statement, except Mirror's Edge isn't on there anymore.
Okay. All right. Never mind. We're not getting rid of that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Some people are so upset. They like running around the city on rooftops.
Yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, bullying EA worked.
That's a switch. Bullying EA. That is a rare thing because they get bullied quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm not used to that.
Oh, yeah.
But there are some people saying that the console versions of Mirror Edge, because a lot of people went back to Mirror's Edge because of the statement, that the console versions no longer have online at all anyway. So it might just be the PC through EA Origin version. But, you know.
More things shutting down.
Yeah.
So,
who knows?
I wonder if it's like they're, but we don't want to spend the money on these servers anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that has to be it, right? Because 15 years is a long time to keep an online game going. For as much as I have my problems with EA, 15 years is a long time.
If Lotro can do it, so can EA.
I agree. But it's also EA.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's pretty much where we're at right now.
Yeah. They're still getting complaints about any of the Battlefield games.
People are a little upset about Bad Company 2, but I doubt they're gonna go back and do anything about that one. I expect that one to probably still die, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, we will move into Rundgren's corner then.
Yes. Yes. As you know, we always start off with a birthday. Make my notes right here. With that, I'll say happy birthday to Matthew Broderick.
Who?
Yeah, it was in. He's done some things. There's a movie called War Games. That if you remember, you're probably kind of old. Matthew Broderick is 61 today, which is
really
kind of surprised me. I didn't realize he was that old. Like, I guess he is 61.
Guess so.
Now I've got a couple stories for you actually today, and one I just found out today, but I thought it was really cool, so I wanted to talk about it. But I wanted to throw out a warning for all the viewers in the Hague, Netherlands.
Okay.
Right? Apparently, a lot of trains in both northern and southern Netherlands are facing lengthy cancellations.
Oh.
The ProRail company said the rails can subside, and then the safety of train traffic can no longer be guaranteed. It was kind of a big deal. So John Voppen, I don't know if I said that correctly or not. I'm pretty sure I got John right. But he's a CEO of ProRail that maintains the Dutch railroads. He's put out a plea. He said, in the interest of travelers and carriers, more spaces need to be able to take action more quickly. We are, of course, in urgent consultation with the Ministry of Infrastructure and Water Management about this. He also has another quote that I'll get to here in a minute. But all this has been taking place because badgers are burrowing under the rail tracks, and that caused trains to halt. So once again, I'm just a refresher. Don't discount the animal uprising.
Yeah,
it could still be happening. They're working in the very north here to shut down transportation, and they have shut down shut down the trains in the Netherlands.
Just imagining you're riding a train, and the train like tracks collapse, train derails, and somebody goes, "What happened?" And somebody just goes, "The Badgers are at it again."
Badgers are at it. Yes. Um,
Changing
they
the
of
episode
course
title
they
real
can
quick,
cause
by the way.
the tracks to dip down, and train going over it'll sink. That's not good for the train. They kind of need a level, sturdy area to go over. Now badgers are protected in the Netherlands, so the rail operators they have to get permission to move them or disturb. If they have to disturb the habitat in any way, they
Hmm.
have to get permission. Which this is taking a while as they're investigating the situation.
Makes sense.
And there's we don't have much luck with trains over here, but they're not a huge transportation for a lot of people in America, right?
Right.
But this is going to cause people, of course, to miss work and a lot of other things. It's kind of bad. The Badgers are causing a real problem in
Right.
the Netherlands. On the company's website, and this is the final thought I'll leave them with this. They basically summed it up. They gave a statement that says, living together with badgers can be a real puzzle. And that's their full statement on the situation they're trying to get through. So beware of badgers. We don't have to worry about them too much right here, but they are dangerous. And I got another story. Like I said, I got found out today. So there's a town in Texas. It's nicknamed the oldest town in Texas, called Nacogdoches. It has a sister city in Louisiana called Natchitoches. I
I
think
think
that's
so. I think so.
it's Natchitoches, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that name before.
Okay.
I don't go to Louisiana often, but I've heard that name.
Right. But across the nation, you have these groups, and there's two different ones. There's the SEA, and there's another one called Amp Guard. And Amp Guard, they go out. They have I don't want to say it mock fighting because they're actually kind of smacking the crap out of each other. But it's with foam weapons or whatever. They do fight.
Okay. Okay.
So I hope I got this right. One of the guys from the Nacogdoches chapter, I apologize if anybody's at Amgard. I don't know if I should call it a kingdom or a chapter or whatever, but it's based in Nacogdoches. Well, he goes, there's a university there. And he went to the university, and part of that, the training he did anyway, he ended up going to the South Pole. And him and a few other folks. And he took the Amgard, which I want to say it's called the Wetlands.
Okay.
It's the region of the kingdom or whatever. But he took their flag and planted it at the South Pole. So the South Pole has been claimed for the the Nacogdoches Amgard.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, I was like, of all the people who claim the South Pole, I wouldn't have picked that.
I don't think so. But
yeah, and honestly, that's rather impressive.
Yeah, no, it really is.
That they have made it.
It's supposed to be neutral territory too, so I'm surprised they get shot planting a flag there.
Fair enough. There is a treaty, I do believe. Yes, for both poles, by the way, the Arctic and the Antarctic treaty. But yeah, please, if you're on a train, beware of badgers.
Yeah.
And congratulations to the Nacogdoches Amp Guard community that has claimed the South Pole. I don't know anybody that's going to go down there and be able to take it.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Very hard for me. It's got an official name. The guy had to look, I don't know. All right. So I'm going off secondhand information. But it is very organized. The different kingdoms is what I'll call them. They got to certify. They got to they have to put like a thing in to say, okay, this is our kingdom, blah blah blah, this is his name, whatever, right?
Right.
But before he went down there, he put in all the paperwork, so it would be official. And then to top it off, he put the flag there. And so I guess
there you
I
go.
think it's called something redo, like Redux.
I'm sorry.
I can't.
I'm just imagining, honey. I gotta go this weekend. I gotta fly 9 hours and then take a ferry
Yeah,
and then go pull up somebody
and then,
else's flag and plant my team's flag there.
by the way, do you know where to get a dog sled? That would be real handy in helping. Uh,
Uh,
yes, yes,
that's
yes.
great. That's great. I don't even have words. I'm just
Yes,
floored right now. Badgers and then this.
yeah, yes. And if the badger's name is Honey, definitely leave it alone.
Yeah.
That. And Lady Hawk, that's as old as War Games.
Yeah.
It's old as War Games. So you have just proved it.
Oh. All right then. Well,
Yeah.
let's move into your assignment. I'll make the. I'm
Okay.
trying to gather myself back again.
Okay. The guy's named on the expedition too, and I should have wrote his name down.
Yeah.
I wrote that one.
Yeah. You're gonna join the Amguard for your assignment.
Oh, I would get destroyed.
All right, chat. You have 2 minutes. And if
Okay.
you're on YouTube, 1, 2, or 3. And I didn't put them in the right order for the poll again, like a dummy.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
fine. I'll just parse it
Great.
myself in my own mind.
Yes. Okay. Look, Roxanne, we're almost at the end. Well, we made it all the way through without being cursed. And why you attack my bacon is just rude.
Can't really see them. Oh no, I can make them bigger.
One for sure. Okay. You got a pin ready. I'll find out. Do you have any plugs while we're waiting?
I do actually. So not Mark. No, that's my brain just gave out on me. What the name? It's gone. What's the name? No, Henry Cavill. I was trying to say Mark Hamill and then got lost. Henry Cavill, right, was in an interview, and oh, that's weird. YouTube. What a strange site it is. And they asked him in the interview what his favorite Space Marine chapters were.
Yeah.
And his answer, of course, was Custodes, but that's not a chapter. So then he gave an actual answer. And his 2 favorite chapters are the Salamanders and the Blood Angels, which is my favorite chapter.
Yes.
So
nice.
He mentioned that before Custodes were added to the game, he played Blood Angels. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
He's a big nerd.
Yeah.
And I mean big nerd. Did you see him in Superman?
Yeah.
He's huge.
No, he's huge. My dream is to get to play a match against Henry Cavill and just get destroyed by his Custodes. He's been playing way longer than I am. There's no doubt in my mind he's a great player. Okay, well, we have a tie on Twitch. However, a YouTube vote came in and broke the tie. Jazz is also Blood Angels. That's right.
That's cool. Very cool.
Blood Angels. Jazza does have Space Wolves as well, though. He collects both. And that is a victory. Henry Cavill did mention in the interview, he was asked, well, what about Space Wolves? He's like, yeah, Space Wolves are cool. But ultimately, all the Loyals chapters are cool. And if I went, man, Space Wolves are cool, I should get those too, then I'll have 10 armies. So I just admire them from a distance.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's fair. So we did have a tie on Twitch, but because we had a vote on YouTube, the vote goes to, and what you'll be playing tomorrow is Call of the Sea again.
Cool, man. I can finish that one up.
So people really seem to like that one.
Yeah, it's got a very unique art style.
Yeah,
I like the setting quite a bit.
Also, I'm glad nobody called me out for my misspelling on the vote. Jesse did make his own chapter. That's very true. Remember what the Space Bears, and they're very cool.
Right on.
Put a lot of work into those. Well, we are at an hour and a half, so
Yeah.
we have an option. We could go ahead and end early, or we could tackle a topic. Yeah.
I'm good with tackling a topic.
So I got 2 different topics here that we have not yet covered.
Okay.
And again, please, chat, send me suggestions for more topics. The 2 that we haven't covered yet on here are best character deaths in media, for which we'll have to put up spoiler boo if we do that one, and what makes a good main character.
All right, flip a coin.
Okay. I have a coin here. Transformers, more than meets the eye. I have an Octopath here.
Okay.
Is the coin used in the Octopath universe? It's very heavy. We didn't say which one's heads, which one's tails. I've got the coin right here already flipped. Let's just go top bottom, right? Heads, tails, character death, and then main character.
Yeah.
It's tails. What makes a good main character?
Ooh.
All right. So let me change the deal here.
All right. Man.
I need to make another overlay for topics. That way it's really special every time it comes up.
Right on. Make it shiny. Be kind of like shiny. Relatability sure got some stuff there. And a good reason to pull for them, right? That's what.
Mm-hmm. That definitely is a big one. I think I'm going to pull up an example that I think both of us can rely on here, which is Frodo, who is technically the main character of The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people say Aragorn is the main character, he sort of is too. But
about Aragorn.
Yeah, but it's told
Aragorn getting
mostly from Frodo's perspective until the past split.
Right.
It's pretty difficult actually, I think, to relate to Frodo, but he still works as a really good main character because he is new to the world, but he's not an idiot, you know?
Well, Sam's the hero.
Yeah, Sam's definitely the hero.
Sam's definitely the hero.
Samwise the Brave.
Aragorn.
Oh, we got an ad.
Oh, I can add. Ads.
This cup is weird because it's got a straw in there. So when I pull it up, I try to drink it like that.
Yeah.
Almost nothing comes out because it's got a spigot you're supposed to suck.
Well, take the straw out.
Yeah, I probably should.
Yes.
Frodo, yeah. Frodo's
not Fatty Bolger either.
Right. The ad has ended, sir. Please continue your thought.
Okay. So, well, I don't know. I don't want to get just total Lord of the Rings discussion, but Frodo, for the original audience, I think it would be very relatable. You know, he just wants a simple life. He wants to, be at home, take care of his business there. With that, I got an art about credit card. Trying to tell you something. I'm trying to think of others.
I got another example for you.
Yeah.
Dalton from Roadhouse. If you ask me who Dalton is, I can tell you. But if you ask me how I got to that point, there's not just like exposition that tells you, this is how Dalton. There's not flashback to show you. It's just little references of like, hey, Wade Garrett raised him,
Yeah.
But he's a good main character, not because he's a good guy, because he's kind of not a good guy.
Be nice.
But
always be nice.
Yeah.
That's great advice. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because he is very relatable in a lot of ways, but also because genuinely he just seems to want to get through the day.
Also, there's always for me, the best main characters have some kind of weakness, or they've got to overcome something in order to succeed.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
If they're just perfect at everything, it's kind of boring.
Right.
That the exception of that might be what's his name? Kvothe.
Yeah, Kvothe, for sure.
Yeah, because you've got but that's kind of a special situation because he's telling the story.
Yeah. So of course he seems like he's got no flaws.
Yeah. goes through, but it's still you still get a little bit of that. I'm thinking about like Jon Snow was a really good character, and
Yeah,
maybe not, not the main character. There's a
right.
cast of main characters. They just don't all live, but he's got he starts off with disadvantage, right,
Yeah,
and overcomes it. Yeah,
I agree.
I don't
Having to
know.
overcome a flaw is a very important part of a
Yeah,
good main character for me.
something you can relate to, oh, hmm, like Liam Neeson and Taken, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. You're probably not gonna know what it's like to have a. Hopefully, you don't know what it's like to have a family member kidnapped,
yeah. Hopefully not.
right? Hopefully, you don't. But you can understand, what that pain would be, what that
Right.
panic might be through that. So I think the relatability is probably the biggest
Yeah,
thing. Some level,
I think so. I think.
like.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was trying to think of other main like Black Panther, wanting to keep his home.
Yeah.
Wrestling with that. There's some kind of conflict that they're dealing
Mm.
with, you know.
John Wick just wanting to be left alone.
Right. You know.
I think it's also because I see people make this mistake a lot when it comes to like main characters. There is a distinction between hero and main character, as we talked about
Yeah.
earlier with Sam, right? And
Right.
I do like heroic main characters.
Yeah.
I like a main character that is like always trying to do the right thing and get kicked all the time, getting kicked down and knocked down while they're trying to do, but always getting back up again. I love Luffy, right? That's what he is. That's
Yeah.
Goku in a lot of ways. It's not Superman, no matter how much people say that's Superman. Superman's a very different thing, and I love him too. But I also really
Even
like.
the best Superman, even the best Superman stories. He's holding his ideals or trying to overcome something.
Yeah,
It's not fun when he just wipes stuff out. Maybe for a
absolutely.
page
Absolutely.
of it. So always is R2D2.
That's fair. But no, at the end of the day, like I don't have to have a heroic main character to enjoy the story. It's okay when there's somebody else that is the heroic main character or the heroic character, and the main character
Yeah.
is just trying to do their best.
Well, there's a lot of main characters, that definitely you're right. It's not heroic. Deadpool, Punisher,
Yeah, John Constantine.
Thing. Yeah, it was like, yeah, I'm pulling for him, but they're not exactly
Right.
a good moral.
They're not
compass.
good people.
Yeah.
Well, and even in some ways, like Angel, right?
Mm.
But at the end of the day, they're still going to do what needs to be done for the greater good. It's not the right term, but it's that style of,
Well, it's kind of, yeah, because in TV shows, you got classic TV shows or TV shows that have like a cult following where people
Mhm.
love, and the one that comes to mind is Buffy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole preface of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Look, she's forgive me, Buffy fans, but wasn't she a cheerleader? She was a cheerleader.
I think so. It's been a very long
Or
time.
that- It's like the whole thing is like this is not somebody you would pick to be a vampire hunter.
Yeah.
Or vampire slayer.
Well, and to bring up a different example, sometimes I like it when the main character is not a good person at all and is very villainous. And the example I'll go with there is Shar Aznable, who is really, truly the main character of First Gundam, even though Amuro is the focus. And he is not a good guy. But the plot revolves around him. It doesn't revolve around Amuro until much later.
A lot of the main characters, they are likable, or that you get behind them because the villain's so good. Yes, you
Yeah,
okay.
that's right. That's
The
right.
villain's so good,
Yeah.
A good villain a lot of times can up the hero or up the main character.
Yeah, like Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. Like Luke Skywalker is good on his own. He is he's a morally good protagonist most of the time. He's doing his best. I like him, but it's when he's put against Vader or when he's put against Palpatine that he really shines to me.
Well, it's like one that really comes to mind is, look, I like Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard's great. Hans
Great
Gruber.
Yes. Alan Rickman brings that movie to life.
Yes.
Bruce Willis is great as the main
Yeah.
character, the protagonist, and everything, but it's the villain that really shines light on that.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman's got so many. Robin Hood Men in Tights.
He does. He does.
It's the reason that movie's any good at all is because of the villain.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think,
But
Mr. Zorg in The Fifth Element.
yeah,
Kind
you
of
brought
like
up
a
Die Hard
Bruce
though.
Willis now.
Can we talk about talking about a villain that makes the main character shine? The best scene in Die Hard, which is a Hans Gruber scene, which is when he runs into John McClane and fakes the American accent.
Yeah.
And pretends to be somebody completely different, and it's you buy into it almost. There's a part of your mind that's like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Because he's so good. He's chewing the scenery every second.
Yeah.
And it absolutely Cessna is a Gundam. That is true.
We're just gonna talk about how good Alan Rickman was.
That's right. That's right.
From Galaxy Quest, Harry Potter, you name it.
Well, what if we
killed and everything he did?
What if we pivot here a little bit and say examples of bad main characters? Because I think Highlander is a great movie. I don't think any of that is because of the main character.
The first one,
Yeah.
Christopher Lambert is excellent. You leave him alone.
I don't think he's what makes that movie, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, of course.
No, but that goes back to the villain. Kurgan is an excellent villain.
100%.
He does the villain should
love to hate the villain.
Job. Yeah, you should love to hate the villain, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he takes out Ramirez. There are a lot of things he does.
Oh, yeah.
He does after he takes out Ramirez.
I think that same problem extends to He-Man, where the villain is so good that He-Man himself is not as well written of a character.
Well, He-Man is a basic character, right?
Yeah, he's a template.
Yeah, and then it's kind of the odds he faces.
Mm-hmm. It's really weird to me that the same writer wrote He-Man and Transformers the first season.
And what?
The same writer did the He-Man script and did the dub changes for the original Transformers season, because those two could not be different. Optimus Prime is his own character, and He-Man is just that staple for you to apply yourself to.
Optimus Prime and Megatron are a really good duo.
Mm-hmm.
As far as hero and foil.
Yeah.
Because some of you may consider this blasphemy, but a one-on-one fight between Megatron and Optimus, Optimus is at the disadvantage.
Yeah, 100%.
He's the underdog in that. And I know Megatron, that's another thing. Megatron a lot of times ends up beating himself.
Yeah, he does. I think the staying power that those two have, too, is what shows how good of a protagonist Optimus is. Because so often I'll see people say, well, you know, I'm tired of this character. I'm tired of that character. People aren't tired of Optimus Prime. I don't think they're ever going to get tired of Optimus Prime, you know?
Yeah.
A new season comes out, Optimus is there. Megatron is there.
I'm Optimus Prime.
You can't have it without them, really. They tried. It failed.
Well, also, now I'm kind of thinking of things that didn't go over so well because the villains weren't really formed, you know?
Yeah.
We're getting back on the hero thing, but the main character having a good antagonist, can help elevate that.
Yeah. Voltron, Keith, and Lotor. That dynamic was so good, and Keith is a really solid main character for Voltron as well, because originally he's not presented to be the hero, and then he has to step up to the role when Sven gets Sven. Autobots doesn't really have Optimus. Blasphemy. No, if they can pull it off, that's great. I am really glad to hear that there's a writer that can do it, because I don't think I could do it if you asked me to write a good Transformers series without Optimus in it.
Yeah, they call it Bumblebee.
Yeah, but that's a movie. That's different.
Yeah, true.
Okay, what if we pivot to games here? We haven't really touched games yet. What makes a good game protagonist?
Same thing. You need to feel like you have to you're not everything at the beginning, right? You
Right.
need to build and have some of that.
Yeah,
And
that's a
it
very good point.
still goes in the way. Final Fantasy VII, yeah, Cloud is great.
Mhm.
Sephiroth is the one everybody
Oh
remembers, you know?
yeah,
Yes. Professor X and Magneto, definitely a good pair.
100%.
Um, yeah. And they're kind of on the same side, just different ways of going about it.
Yeah.
Uh games. Trying to
See,
think.
my first thought, which is a weird choice for me, I guess, but is Samus. Because we don't
Yeah,
get a lot of like characterization for her in the early games, but
right.
what you get is all in-game storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's her not wanting to fire at the baby Metroid. You know, it's her still being human despite being this unfeeling robot when you look at her.
Yeah. And Solid Snake's another good one too.
Yeah, Snake's a great
Uh,
protagonist. Great main
yeah.
character.
And you play through the games and you know you get into the villain. You kind of go through some villains, but you get
Yeah.
into the villain usually
Yeah.
late in the game, right? And it's done a pretty good job of getting that.
It's fair, Waverly. Like Emmett, yeah, 100%. The problem is with Emmett is that you have your main character, your Warrior of Light, is the blank slate, like He-Man, except done better, I think, because it's easier to apply yourself to him, or her, or them, whichever your Warrior of Light is personal to you.
Yeah.
But it's still not like, I wouldn't say the Warrior of Light is necessarily a good main character until Shadowbringers Endwalker, where you get to actually start influencing the story.
What was it? 12. The main character was Lightning.
No, that's 13.
13. See, that one kind of falls a little bit short for
Yeah,
me, and I
she
don't
does.
think it's because I don't get.
She's not relatable.
Yeah, Lightning's kind of set apart in a weird way.
Well, and you have the same problem with 12, where in 12 you get introduced to your main character is Vaughn, and he wants to be a sky pirate. And it's like, oh, that's cool, but that's all you learn about him from there. And then you have all these other way more interesting characters, and he's not relatable at all. Once you get past his "I want to be free," he gets free, and then his arc just ends. But you're still expected to play as him for the rest of the game.
Yes.
I don't know. It's weird because I look back on stuff like Final Fantasy 1, where those characters don't even have names unless you give them names, right?
You name them.
But they're still so. I enjoyed my time with them. I wouldn't necessarily say they're good main characters. They have a great villain. Garland is an incredible villain.
Yeah.
But then what they did with that was Strangers of Paradise, where they turned the Warrior of Light into like a full character in that game, and Garland into more of a character. Like, that's great. Yeah. When I play FF1 now, that's who I'm going to be thinking of.
Right on. Very cool. Well, so in games, you got some that are kind of like Bowser's on, like everybody knows, or Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
Or oh gosh,
Sonic is a great main character.
The Mega Man.
Dr. Wily. Dr. Wily.
Thank you.
Lock-On's not the main character, Will, but he is a great character. I agree.
Yeah.
If we're talking Gundam, Amuro Char, that's great. That is unmatched by the rest of the series, in my opinion, even though there's some good ones. Because, like, Camille Jared is not... I love Jared. That's not as good. And Camille Shirako is good, but it's not...
Yeah.
Not the same. Yeah, Robotnik. Get me some chili dogs. I love Sonic. No, there's some really good. I don't want to spoil later villains for you by naming them because some of them are surprise villains, but there's some good pairs in Gundam. They're just not as good as Amuro Char, in my opinion. That's the top of the series.
The Umbrella Corps are really just itself. We can point out Wesker, or his sister.
Yeah.
You've got things there. Maybe even Mr. X.
Yeah.
Through that, good villains, but it's the Umbrella Corp.
Yeah, that's
the villain. And it kind of brings having this big unknown entity kind of makes the characters you're playing more interesting.
Yeah, because they're up against this wall. That how do they
Yeah,
overpass it
yeah,
and surpass it? I guess. And I think all of the main RE protagonists, Carlos is the name of the guy in 3. I was gonna say, except for Carlos, I think are all like really well-rounded characters that are
yeah,
really good main characters. Leon is the young cop that is just trying to do his best, put in a situation beyond his control, and then Chris Redfield, who is the Star's agent, who's completely blindsided by what happens there. Why am I
yeah.
being so vague? Come on.
I don't know.
I am back, Dark. Hello.
Hey, Dark, what's going on?
No, I think those are all good main characters for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's what sets. Like when you start, like the first one, when you start with Jill Valentine,
Mhm.
if you start with her or
Chris.
Chris, you've got your back's almost to the wall.
Yeah.
You're trapped in a mansion. You've been separated. You've been separated from
He's
your
my boulder
team.
punching.
You've been separated from your team, which that's how you've been trained. You rely on your team.
Yeah.
Going through that, you're facing an uphill battle
Mhm.
against Umbrella Corps. It makes an excellent villain. Like
Yeah.
you were saying, they seem so much bigger. It's like David Goliath type thing.
I do need to cut Sheva out. I said all of them except for Carlos, also Sheva. All of them except for Carlos and Sheva.
A little bit to him. I think other games with some real.
Do we want to talk about Link?
Well,
He's the blank slate in a lot of ways.
yeah, he is, and with each game, you kind of can't. You can't really put him. It's pretty. Look at it. He's a side character. He's pretty. I mean, Ganon is a classic villain, but it kind of goes with. I don't know.
But what about Twilight Princess Link that has like his own full character arc in that game, or
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild Link that has the memories from the past that show his character? I think
Yeah.
those two are pretty solid. I think the rest of the Links are just blank slates for the most part, but those
Yeah.
two are pretty good.
Right. Yeah, and the original one, if you didn't have the booklet, you had no idea.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's just a
It
guy.
didn't tell you anything-
Who is
tell
this
you anything in the
guy?
game.
Definitely in the older games, he's just the hero. But maybe a little bit in Wind Waker, but I feel like that's just because of how good the art style is in Wind Waker that it makes the emotions show more when stuff happens. But like Twilight Princess Link, you get to see his like struggling with his wolf form transformations and
Yeah.
wanting to not be that anymore, but then by the end of the game, kind of missing it when he can't turn into a wolf anymore. And spoilers, I guess.
That dang music always gets stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, there's good stuff in there.
There's definitely. I don't know that you can actually like put a finger on this what makes a good character.
Right.
I think there's a kind of an array that goes across it.
I agree. Relatability is important. Determination is important.
I think by the end of whatever story you're doing, the game, it's like, okay, they've accomplished something.
Yeah, there's a full character arc.
Yeah, that kind of felt out of reach maybe earlier in the story.
Mm-hmm. I just want to highlight real quick, Mario got really close in Sunshine, where he went to trial and clearly showed emotions, but other than that, he's just been Mario. Blink is relatable in Breath of the Wild. When you get to the like go back cutscenes that you get where he's trying to be a good guard.
Yeah.
He's failing.
It doesn't have to be relatable. It doesn't have to be something that I've gone through.
Yeah.
Myself, it's like something maybe I can understand.
Yeah. When I watch Link not getting the job that he's applied to for that he's been working towards for the last 10 years, and he just gets shut down, and he just goes, it's like, yeah, I get you. I'm there, Link. I understand.
I can see that.
He's mostly a blank slate,
especially in some of the games. He can definitely kind of be like a Barry Sue.
Yeah. I think part of it that helps too is in Breath of the Wild you can find his journal.
Yeah.
and read his journal entries there, you know?
Yeah.
And the stuff of like, I don't know if I'm going to be good enough. I need to go. I'm told I need to go draw the Master Sword. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. What if it doesn't accept me?
Yeah.
You know, things like the other Guardians don't like me. Daruk seems friendly enough, but Rivali seems to hate me. You know, that stuff to me is all really relatable.
Yeah. I don't know. At the end of
He's
the day,
overqualified. That's right.
okay, this is a different thing, but I think it kind of works in the same way.
That's a different
Yeah,
link.
married to a fish.
That's a different link, and I would have married that fish too.
The when you listen to music, listen through different music, you know, you like some songs, you don't like others.
Yeah.
That's true. Half fish.
I just mean if I was in that world where and
Yeah.
I was Link, clearly.
So, and if you're in that world,
Yeah.
you rejected the lady who's now your wife. The
No, if I was Link. If I was me, no. If I was Link.
sure.
Love you, darling.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't know. Like I said, there's got to be the music thing. I don't think it's the music itself. I think there's something underneath the music where you connect with it.
Yeah, I agree.
The underlying current, so to speak,
Yeah.
in the music. And I think in some stories, that's what it is. Like when you can't put your finger on what draws you to this story, whether it's book, game, movies,
Yeah.
TV series, anime, whatever it is. There's something going on underneath that you're connecting to.
Yeah.
But
Have a good one, Will. Yeah, there's always going to be something that something a character says or does or something you see that just makes you go, "Oh man, yeah, no, I feel for that."
yeah, we were talking about villains. A lot of times the hero is just earlier because we were saying a lot of times the hero is made so much better because the villain is so good.
Yeah, the foil.
Yes. Antagonist.
All right, I think we've covered that topic pretty well.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right.
Just I wish Mario was a character. That's where I'll leave that. There's a lot of Mario games, and he's not. Luigi's more of a character because of one game series than Mario has ever been.
Mention.
Yep.
One. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times they do. We brought up some examples. You know, another one. Lion King wouldn't be near as good without Scar.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Scar, Alan Rickman once again.
Yeah. Yep. Can I bring up one more example real quick before we close the topic? So in Octopath Traveler 2,
I'm trying, Will. Soon.
Particio, who is he does, absolutely. Scar makes that movie. Particio is the merchant in this game. In his chapter 1, so I guess light spoilers for his chapter 1, his family is completely broke and they can't even afford really the medicine for his dad. And
I can relate to that.
yeah, there's a moment where he's like basically kicked to the bottom and he can't do anything to make the situation better except for fight. And his theme kicks in right as he chooses to fight. I was like,
yeah,
this is my guy. I'm with him. This game has the Count of Monte Cristo in it, basically. But Particio, that's my boy. He ends his story, his chapter 1, and says, I'm setting out on a journey, Paul. I'm going to go out there and beat that devil called poverty. You just watch me. And he leaves to go help people. And I'm like, I'm with you, Particio, 100%. This is my boy. This is my guy. I'll calm down now.
Another game, one last game. We're gonna keep thinking of examples. I know one last game that really it's all about the villain, so to speak. That was the original. I can't speak on the other ones, but that was the original Myst game.
Yeah, 100%.
You were you.
Yeah,
you kind of got a little bit of background. A little bit better. It was the little recordings and stuff you got.
Yeah,
and those folks playing those characters. And what they said, and it kind of built up the mystery.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
So
Well,
obviously the protagonist in all those games was absolutely the best.
yeah, best character in the series for sure.
Yes.
All right. So as we close out here, just really appreciate everybody. It's wonderful that you came to hang out. It's good to be back in town. We got the usual stuff as we go. Wednesday stream, of course. Rundgren will have his assignment. He'll be playing Call of the Sea. Thursday, we'll have some TTRPG podcast with some stuff. I'm excited. Should we tell him what we're doing?
Here, you came late. I'm just glad you're here.
Should we tell him what we're doing Thursday?
What?
Should we tell him what we're doing Thursday?
What are we doing Thursday, Trey?
We're building Pathfinder characters.
Yeah. I'm gonna build some Pathfinder characters.
And then Friday, I'm gonna build on the new layout, the new setup. Why is there a fake face over me? Because I wanted to show the new emote face. It's not an emote yet. I'm waiting for approval on Twitch, but here you go. That's my face from the roller coaster. Will soon be an emote.
Nice.
I can move just a little bit where it looks like he's wearing headphones. There you go. So, yeah, we got some good stuff coming, and then next week, of course, we'll have Immo Mondays. For anybody that missed it, we now record Immo Mondays together. Even though the audio is all fixed and sounds good there, and I'm excited. So, hopefully, all of you are too.
Awesome.
I understand. That was my goal. I kept it hidden this whole time so I could just surprise people with it. All right. Thursday we'll be watching Sharks Counterattack Thursday, so we can talk about that Tuesday. So
yes,
I'm excited.
Will could leave me alone. He won't though.
You have any plugs before we go?
No. I think I've worried about this, so any one of them went out of my head when I was thinking about it.
Yeah. After Sharks Counterattack, I believe is War in the Pocket.
And then we got to change the thing because Will's got to. He's already said he's going to yell at me about is it 00? 00?
Yeah, it's going to be a while till we get to 00.
That's okay.
Because after 0080 War in the Pocket, we have the F-91 movie, then Stardust Memory, then Victory Gundam, the G Gundam, then Wing Gundam, then Oitham S Team, then X. We got some stuff.
Yeah.
War in the Pocket, not War in the Pocky, though that would be a very different OVA. War in the Pocket is a 6-episode OVA. 8-episode OVA? 8-episode OVA. So.
No, they're fighting one of those little stick things. Okay. Wing.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Wing. I did, Dark. I just looked it up in the chat that we have. That's where I found the list.
War in the Pocket is the end. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to let you know. Okay.
So. All right then. Until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rundgren.
And we've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer.